evening. Good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmaster and guests. My name is Rauful Azam, and I'll be the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. I welcome you all to the pre-charter meeting number 7 of Bright Heart Toastmaster. Let me tell you all about what is Toastmaster and its mission. So Toastmaster International is a non-profit educational organization which help people to build confidence and teaches public speaking skills through the connection of worldwide clubs which meets online and offline. In a positive and cooperative environment, they empowered members prepare and deliver speeches, and they respond to the impromptu questions and give and receive the constructive feedbacks. And by doing this on a regular basis or by doing the regular practice, members are empowered to meet personal and professional communication goals. It is founded in 1924. It has more than 2,17,000 members across 14,200 clubs across 148 countries. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communications and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before we start the meeting, I would like to mention some of the ground rules which we followed. The first one, please put your mobile on switch off or in silent mode. I'll give 20 seconds to do the same. Please be mindful while talking about sex, religion, and politics, as it might hurt someone's sentiment. While coming on the stage or leaving the stage, please follow a handshake or fist bump. People who are exiting the hall or entering the hall, please make sure that you are doing that only during the applause. Please do not do cross-talking while the speaker is speaking on the stage. And the people who are attending online, we encourage you to be on videos and be on mute until unless you are called by the Toastmaster of the day for your specific role. Now I'd like to introduce the presiding officer of the day. He is software professional at JP Morgan and has been member of Toastmaster International since April 2018. He has completed 2 pathways in the Toastmaster Educational Pathway Program. Additionally, he has won District 121 Speech Evaluation Context in back-to-back 2022 and 2023. Most recently, he crowned the District 121 International Speech Context Champion in 2024. He is the founder of Humble Bumble Book Club, one of the fastest growing club in Bangalore, which is currently home of over 3 dozens enthusiastic readers. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome on the stage the President of Bright Heart Toastmaster, Akshay Abraham.
Good evening. How's everyone doing? Great. Great to see some new faces and in fact Ruchi's family in the crowd as well, along with some folks from HSR Toastmasters and other guests as well. Before we begin today's meeting, does anyone remember last week's meeting? What was it about? Rauful. Academia. Who was the Toastmaster of the day last week? Arna. And what was last week's meeting about? Yes, Miss Vice President Education. Academia Adventures, right. So coming from Academia Adventures from last week to today's new topic, but somewhat related topic, books. and the beauty of books and the knowledge that books provide us. Today, our Toastmaster of the day is going to take us into a whole new journey by exploring these literary works and what these works bring to our lives. But before we begin, I would like to have some of the guests in attendance introduce themselves. One by one, you can come onto the stage, tell us your name, how did you find out about this club, and why you are here. So why don't we start with you?
Is it audible? So hi everyone, I'm Kamini. I came to know about HSR, this Toastmasters Club, via the old HSR Toastmasters Club, and that I got to know via the St. Mark's Road HSR, St. Mark's Road Toastmasters Club. So I've been going to all these clubs as a guest on and off. I have attended around 4 to 5 sessions till now, and I got to know about this Toastmasters Club in the previous Toastmasters Club where Akshay introduced this club. So I thought let's just go and see how it is, and let's just experience the new club, what is exactly the pre-charter meetings all about. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Thank you.
So much. Thank you, Kamini. As she mentioned, we are a club that is in the pre-charter phase. I know most of us are already aware what that means, but pre-charter means we are about to become official. The paperwork is in progress, and hopefully, fingers crossed, Mrs. BPA, we should be official by end of August. Ruchi, do you mind if I call your family on stage to introduce themselves as well? Why don't we have you both?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Hey, very nice to be on this stage here, and such smiling faces here. I've really seen those in the clubs. Okay, so I have heard about Toastmaster, but this is my first session attending here, and I definitely came with Ruchi because she wanted to say, okay, let's go and see what's it about. I have heard great things about it, and I want to see this one in session. Thank you so much, guys. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much, Kush. You and Ruchi are very similar. Don't you guys see it? Face cut, the way you talk, that same charm is also there. Very nice to see you, Kush. Really, I hope you have a great time here along with your mom as well. And with that, I know that there are a couple of new HSR faces, and we do have some time. So maybe I'll pick one of you. Why don't we have Rahul come yourself on stage and quickly introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. I am Rahul. I am part of HSR Club. I am currently serving as the SA for our club, and I am here to see and experience new HSR. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rahul, for joining New HSR Toastmasters Club. And on that note, thank you to all the guests for introducing yourselves. And I now officially declare Pre-Charter Meeting 7 open. Before I begin, just one more overview of what Toastmasters is about. Toastmasters is a place where we simply put, come here to become better speakers and better leaders. We are going to be the change. We are going to brighten hearts, one person at a time. And on that note, let me introduce the Toastmaster of the day for Pre-Charter Meeting 7. He's a data science manager, has been in this profession for close to 9 years. He's someone who works at JP Morgan and Chase. And today, he is going to take us on an adventure into the wonderful world of books. give a huge, huge round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day, Bright Heart Siddharth Jain.
Good evening, fellow bright hearts and dear guests. How are we feeling today? Great. Okay. Are you all ready to have a fun meeting? Yes. Okay. What is the first word that comes to your mind when you hear word book? Pages. What else? Stories. Fiction. Anything else? Where does the patience? Okay. Friends, where does the book take you if you read a fiction book? Anywhere, exactly right. That's the theme of the meeting today. Books, windows to the worlds. I bought my first book at a railway station while going back home, and I'm generally sort of a person who looks out the window for hours, looking at the view that's changing, looking at different territories. But the first time I bought a book, I read it cover to cover and did not look it outside the window. So I'm going to test your knowledge about the books. So why don't we start with some questions? Okay. So these are sort of tricky questions. You have to use a little bit of brain. Why did the books join police force? Book joined police force. Yeah. What do you get? What do you? It's a hint. What do you do when you sort of get a book for your schools? Okay, that's a good one because it's undercover. Okay. Right. We have another question. Why do books never feel cold? Yeah. Because good one. What else? Same answer as the first one. They are always undercover. Okay. All right. Last one. Why do books don't give out loans? Loans. No. All right. Hint, where do you keep the book? Shelf. Because they are selfish. All right. Okay. Like every book, if you look at the book, it has in the first few pages you find the content of the book. Similar to that, we have a content for the Toastmasters meeting. General structure of the meeting is you have prepared speech sections where two brave souls come up on the stage. They speak for 4 to 6 minutes. Second section of the meeting is table topics. It's like a plots and twists. Table topic master will give you an impromptu topic to speak on, and you have to speak on it for 1 to 2 minutes. And last section of the meeting is evaluation. Every book loves the good critic. Similarly to that, we have a general evaluator who would sort of give us an overview of how meeting went well, what could be improved in the story of today's meeting. Okay, so today to evaluate the meeting, we have Charvi Dhoot as a general evaluator. She works as a product manager at Adobe. Her favorite book is Atomic Habits, and if she were to write her own biography, it would be called Beating the Odds. I think it's already sounds like a bestseller. I would like to call upon Charvi Dhoot on the stage for her own introduction.
Thank you, Siddharth, for such a lovely introduction. Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Yes. Great. It's good to be in the world of Toastmasters, where the windows of great public speaking open up to us, isn't it? Yes. I am Chari, and I'm your general evaluator for today. What a lovely theme we have today, called Books, Windows to the World. And that reminds me of my favorite book, which is The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. It weaves such a beautiful world and a world of fantasy for me. And just like the character of Gandalf the Grey, where this character was assigned the task of having the wisdom and the ability to guide people to do their tasks correctly, the general evaluator also will be critiquing everyone in the meeting and will help the meeting stay on its course by providing the valuable feedback that comes in at the end of the meeting so that the next meeting could go on correctly as well. To assist the general evaluator, there is a beautiful team called the tag team. This tag team is no less than the ring bearers of the Tolkien world. And the first title is that of the timer. I like to call this timer as Frodo, the bearer of time. Frodo Baggins was entrusted with the task of, it was a huge responsibility in bearing a ring and destroying the ring well within time. So, just like he understood the importance of time, Pragati today would be helping us complete all our speeches and roles within time. She will keep everyone in check by showing her, by playing her role well. So let me introduce to you the first role taker, the timer, Pragati.
Greetings, dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. So as a timer, I will be timing the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green card, the yellow card, and the red card, which denotes specific times. So for the table topics, the speech should not be more than 2 minutes. So 1 minute will be, I will be raising the green card, 1.30, it'll be the yellow card, 2 minutes, it'll be the red card. For icebreaker speeches, it'll be 4 minutes, I will be raising the green card, 5 minutes, the yellow card, and 6 minutes, the red card. For individual evaluations, speeches would be, I'll be raising the green card for 2 minutes, at 2 minutes, and yellow card 2.3 minutes, and red card 3 minutes. I will present my report when called upon by the general evaluator, Charvi, during the evaluation speech. Thank you.
Next up, we have the role of the R counter. Sorry. And this role is played by none other than the second ring bearer, which is Samwise Gamgee, who is a great friend of the Frodo. And he is there to remind him of all the ums and ahs and any ups and downs that will come in this journey. So to keep us all in check with our crutch words, I would like to invite the R counter for today, Toastmaster, Deepak.
Should be okay. Sorry, it's taking time. Okay, I will be here. Thank you. So, good evening, everyone. See, my role is of R counter, and the purpose of this role is to see how many people are, how many times using R words, like or the filler words, crutch words, like I like, you like, or and those, right? So while in the meeting, I will be carefully listening to these, and then at the end of the meeting, I will be reporting in terms of who had what was the R counter, how many, whether it was too many or it was good, and what all R counter was used, what all R was used, like what all phrases were used. So those things I'll report. Thank you. And
I'm going to speak it. The third role is of the third ring bearer, which is none other than Bilbo Baggins, who is an adventurer and a master storyteller. He has mesmerized us with his power of words in Lord of the Rings. And today, to do the same, is Toastmaster Sitaraman, who is going to play the role of grammarian in our Toastmaster teaching today.
Bilbo Baggins, right? That's what you said? Perhaps from a height perspective it would be totally different, but nevertheless, thanks for the introduction. Good evening, Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. A grammarian's job is to ensure that I pay a close attention to all the speeches that each of you, when you walk over here and talk about, pay a close attention and look for the great usages, the good usages, and also catch you for any wrong or bad usages. That's the role of a grammarian that I will be doing today. It's also my duty to introduce the word of the day today. It's VIVID, vivid, which actually means too detailed, vibrant, engaging. Because it was the word vivid, we little bit had gone overboard and we missed out an I. If you had seen the invite today, it was not that vivid. But nevertheless, an example of the word would be the author's vivid description of the fantasy world in the Lord of the Rings book, transported me to Middle-earth. I am sure that many of you coming over here, it's a great thing to be conscious about what you're speaking and also use the word of the day. It's a simple, easy word, vivid. And I am sure you'll be leaving with all of us great and vivid memories of today's meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sitaraman, for such a vivid description of the grammarian role. And now it's time to exit the world of Lord of the Rings and enter the world of the Toastmaster meeting number 7. And that's my time, guys. Thank you.
Do you want some more questions on the books?
Yes.
Okay. So, why did the bookworms break up? Any guesses? What do you generally say when you break up? Okay. Because they were not on the same page. Okay. All right. We have one more question. What is B's favorite book? B's, B-double-E, B's. That's correct. Great catch, D. Okay. All right. So before we move on to the next section where prepared speakers would come onto the stage, I would like to call Sagar Srivastava on the stage to evaluate our first speaker.
Okay, good evening everyone. So today my target speaker, Toastmaster Ruchi Jain, raise your hand, yes, will be delivering her icebreaker speech. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking. Timer, please note the time duration will be 4 to 6 minutes. As a custom of Toastmasters, I request everyone, once Ruchi deliver her speech, please raise and give a standing ovation. Ruchi, I'm sure you will be creating a vivid memory by giving your first icebreaker in this club. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Our first speaker is attempting the icebreaker speech, chapter 1 of project 1. Like a hero starting an adventurous journey, Ruchi is a human-centered designer. She's setting up her own venture, and her favorite book is God of Small Things. If she were to write her own story, the name of the book would be A Resilient Girl. I would like to call upon stage Ruchi Jain for her first speech. Ruchi Jain, I have a story to tell. Ruchi Jain.
Good evening, bright hearts and guests. Good evening. The title of my icebreaker speech is I Have a Story to Tell. Once, I read a story titled A Song and a Story. There was once a woman who knew a song and a story, but she never let it out. The song and the story felt imprisoned. One day, while she was sleeping, they escaped. They took the shape of a coat and shoes and sat outside the door. When her husband inquired about them, she said she didn't know where they came from. Angered, husband left for the monkey temple. There, at midnight, he learned from the lamps the truth about the story. And he returned home. Bright hearts and guests, like that woman in the story, I too had a story trapped inside me. I too had a story to tell. But today I'm not going to tell that story. Today is not that day for the story, but I will tell what happened with the story, how I released that story, and more important, what my future intentions are with that story. I was born in a clean and friendly city of Delhi, raised by my grandmother, and while my parents managed the job and household, I was a social bright heart from childhood. I was busy spreading joy wherever I went. But one day, a story got trapped inside me. I couldn't let it out. From being a social bright heart, I became shy. I mostly kept to myself, and I started withdrawing from most of the activities in my life. As I entered the college, the grasp of that story grew inside me. I didn't know what to do. Slowly, it started taking the form of coat of inner conflicts and shoes of depression and anxiety. I tried everything to release the story, but nothing worked. I traveled, I tried hobbies like birding and gardening. I changed cities and people and environment around me, but I could not release the story. So, unable to beat the burden of the untold story, I let that story out. The coat and the shoes sat outside the door, paving the way for the chaos to enter. My loved ones, my family, my friends didn't know where this coat has come and why now. The chaos grew, the tensions rose, but the story stayed. It made its presence prominence. I felt alone and helpless. I didn't know what to do. During those days, a song that I heard during my school kept coming back to me. যদি তরে দক্ষে কিউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে Akla cholo, akla cholo, akla cholo, akla cholo re. It's a Bengali song by Rabindranath Tagore. It means if no one comes at your call, you walk alone. You keep moving alone. And that's what I did. My friends, I walked alone till the steps felt lighter. Keeping the right company, daily journaling, meditations, and most important, being true to myself helped me make my steps feel lighter. As I kept moving, I felt more free than I felt in years. The ghosts of my past slowly stopped haunting me. I was slowly able to beat the burden of the story that I was carrying. Today, as I deliver this icebreaker speech, I embark on a new journey. The path of this journey is unknown to me. What the destination look like is unknown to me. All I know is why I need to take this journey. I am here being part of the Bright Hearts Club to learn the confidence and the finesse to tell a story. I'm here to build the leadership skills because I want to empower and strengthen and provide the support to individuals like me who have a story trapped within them waiting to be released. We cannot cross the river by merely staring at the water. Or at this time, the goal is far and invisible to me, but I know that all it starts is with the first step. And I'm here taking my first step out of the 10,000 steps that I need to take with this icebreaker speech. In the end, I would ask you all to look within and see, do you have an untold story within you? An untold story whose burden you are carrying. If you look inside and you find that untold story waiting to be released, I request you all to release the story because we all have a story to tell. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchi. That was very resilient story with a great message that if you walk alone, you can conquer anything. Moving on to the next sequel of our journey, I would like to call Rahul Niranjan on the stage to evaluate our second speaker.
Good evening, everyone. My target speaker is going to attempt his icebreaker speech. As is customary for his icebreaker speeches, please give a standing ovation at the end of his speech. And as his evaluator, I am going to be evaluating his structure. The basic purpose of this icebreaker speech is to let the speaker know what the structure of a speech is and to introduce himself to the club. That being said, all the best to you, my target speaker, and back to you, Timod.
Our next speaker is attempting his first speech, icebreaker speech. He currently works as a product manager at a Warm Call. His favorite book is Power of Subconscious Mind, and if he were to write his own story, it would be called Breaking the Barrier. I would like to call upon stage our speaker Harsh Jha on the stage for his speech. Harsh Jha, one step at a time, Harsh Jha.
Growing up, I was the very definition of a mischievous child. Me and my cousins were always up to something. And more often than not, it was me leading the charge. I just loved that feeling of leading my army of cousins into conquering that enemy's castle, which, by the way, was a short tree behind my house. Even at school, I had extreme confidence in my ability to lead. And with complete faith that I would prevail, I nominated myself for the position of the head boy. After all, I was a natural leader. The following week, the results were announced. And can you guess what happened? Of course, I did not make the cut. In fact, I was not even close to the top. I was devastated, but at the same time, humbled. I realized that being a leader is not just about having ambition. Being a leader requires accomplishments. Being a leader meant leading by example, proving their worth. And I had done none of those things. It was a hard truth to swallow. Having experienced this setback, I decided that from now on, I'll put in the effort required and I'll let my achievements speak for themselves. In my journey of becoming a better leader, this was my first step. Fast forward to the third year of college. After putting a tremendous amount of effort, I had finally made it into the institute football team. Over the years, I had punctually attended each and every practice session. I had maintained a strict diet, and I had built up my strength. Tournament after tournament, I had proven myself to be one of the most valuable members on the team. Soon, it was time for our coach to select one of the third years as the vice captain of the team. I was so excited. I was 100% sure that this time I will make it. Finally, on a glorious Friday evening, our coach came up and announced the vice captain for the year would be Akash and not Harsh. Once again, my dreams were shattered. That night, the team celebrated my friend's achievement with 15 of the 16 members present. You can guess who the missing member was. Over the next few weeks, I asked myself, where did I go wrong? What was I lacking? Eventually, the answer presented itself, and I had learned yet another very valuable lesson. Being a leader wasn't about being the most skillful on the pitch. In fact, he wasn't the best at skill, but he was unparalleled in his ability to unite the team, to bring the team together. He was not only leading us, but he was learning from us too. And in doing so, he transformed the team to one cohesive unit. I acknowledge my shortcomings. I realized and I learned. Slowly, I learned how to set aside my ego, how to seek advice when needed, and how to learn from the strengths of others. That was my second step in my journey of becoming a more deserving leader. Jumping ahead to today, I work at a startup and we are building something new from scratch. This experience has ignited a fire in me, a desire to start my own company someday. But having worked closely with the founders over the past 2 years, one thing is crystal clear to me. Running a company comes with far greater challenges than becoming a head boy or the vice captain of a sports team. While I might possess some leadership skills, there are many areas where I have so much to learn. This brings me to why I am here today. I am on a path of self-improvement. I am here to learn from each and every one of you, to lean on your support, and to uncover strengths within myself that I might not even be aware of. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "You don't have to look at the whole staircase, just take the first step." Fellow bright hearts and guests, leadership is a journey and not a destination. And every step forward counts. Becoming a bright heart was my third step in my leadership journey. Now all that's left is to keep moving forward, one step at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Harsh. That was an amazing speech. That reminded me of story of MS Dhoni, who even after defeat decided not to quit and continue on his journey. That brings us to the end of the first segment for the meeting. I would like to open a voting link for everyone to vote for the speaker. Voting link is bit.ly bit.ly /BSTM VOTE1 bit.ly /BHTM vote 1. BSTM vote 1. Right Heart Toastmasters vote 1. Group, you don't have access, you can keep checking the WhatsApp group.
Requesting everyone to vote, including speakers, role takers, guests as well. Five ten p.m. We have 7 votes so far. Can we get at least 15 votes, please? Info. अच्छा excuse me. Anyone need any assistance with the voting link? We are at 13 responses. We just need 2 more. I came out at work. There is something. Didn't expect the mic to come out all of a sudden. All right, we have to 15.
We'll reconvene at 5:10. All right, thank you.
Okay. All right.
Welcome back, everyone. I have few more questions on the books. Little hint, all these books, there are movies on it. So if you know the answer to this question, raise your hands. Which is a book about killing a whale? Whale.
Moby Dick.
Okay. Book title based on killing a bird.
To Kill a Mockingbird. What am I supposed to? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Book or a story where you are the last person on the earth.
I Am Legend.
Right. Okay. Title of the book after reading which you feel very hungry. No. No. The actress won the Oscar for that movie. There is Hunger Games, that's correct. Okay. A book where, a story where government watches your every move. 1984, that's correct. Story where a wizard boy tries to kill a Dark Lord. So, okay, that's correct. Okay, that's end of the questions. Moving on to the next segment, where this is where plot twist comes in. Our table topic master will give you a random topic to speak on, and you have 1 to 2 minutes to speak on those topics. For this, I'd like to call upon stage table topic master Ishan.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and bright hearts. We're on to the most fun segment of Toastmasters. This is that place where every guest, member, or anyone for that matter can come onto the stage. I'll give you guys a random topic, and you get to speak for 2 minutes on this topic. So I would encourage any and everyone to take the leap of faith, come here, and speak for 2 minutes. The word of the day is vivid. So I would encourage you guys to include that in your topic. And yeah, who would want to volunteer for the first one?
Arundhati.
Let me choose an interesting one for you.
Don't give me some tough book.
Okay. So, Arundhati, if there was a biography on you, what would its title be?
Timer, don't start my time. Raffle insists, repeat the topic. What would be the title of my biography is the topic. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I indeed feel there would be a biography on me, which would be written by me. Because often, writing everything else, what we miss out to write is our own stories. And I, for once, is somebody who's journaled since I was a kid, so I sure will land up writing my own biography. Now, if I had a biography, what would be its title? Its title probably would be Just Be Happy. Very simple, without confusing anybody. And the background to that is, no matter what stage and what situation my life has been in, the only way that I've been able to move on is by being happy. And sometimes that might look very tough, like some of you here are thinking, sure, beat Bangalore traffic on a Wednesday morning, then tell me to be happy. So I know what you mean. We do come across situations where we might not have enough reasons to be happy. But I felt over the course of my life's journey that irrespective of the situation you're in, there's perhaps someone who's in a tougher situation. When I complain, walking back home, sometimes in Bangalore because of the rain and how spoiled the roads get, I'm often reminded of the current situation that my hometown Kolkata is facing now. And I feel privileged. So although I have reasons to complain, rightly so, we all do, but there's definitely someone who's battling something tougher, and that's enough for me to say I'm privileged and hence I should be happy. Something that I have always believed in, something that I have lived by, and if today I'm standing here and telling you this story, it's only because at different stages of life, I chose to be happy. And I was happy when the concept of Bright Hearts first emerged, and hence we are here. So, to answer your topic, the title of my autobiography would be Just Be Happy. Back to you.
Thank you.
Okay. No, you can.
Okay.
You can.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Arundhati. That was a great 2-minute speech. I think an amazing philosophy to live by. On to our next one. Who wants to volunteer? If you can just hold. If you can have dinner with any one person, living or dead, who would that be?
Ishan.
What's your name?
Sujivana.
Sujivana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and friends. I am new to Toastmaster. As a guest, I stand here today. And I am so glad I made it today here. It was a lot of... Okay, so coming to the point of dinner, to be honest, I'm not a fan of anyone that I actually fancy going for dinners. In fact, I don't go out for dinners. My life has become so boring that I've actually dragged myself here. Today, if I have to pick someone, probably I'd pick up Arundhati and Akshay because they made a difference to my life today, and I would prefer having dinner with them than anybody else out there. And I take this chance to truly heartfelt appreciate your work. And I really wish giving back to this community that is us is making a difference to so many of us here. And wish you good luck. I'm so glad I would someday definitely have dinner with you all. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Sujivana. Unexpected, but really great. Who wants to volunteer? Yes. What's your name?
Madhur.
Madhur. Madhur, your topic is, if you could travel back in time, which historical event would you witness?
Thank you for the topic. Hello, Bright Hearts. So the topic is... Here, please go. Thank you for giving me 30 seconds. Fellow Bright Hearts, so my topic is, if I had to choose a memory where I would like to revisit that moment, then I would choose the family trip that my parents took to visit North India, which involves visiting Manali and mountains, because whenever you visit new places, you realize that there are so much vivid things to see and to experience in your country, in outside. So it was the time when, after a long, we had an holiday after my schools, and my father promised me that if you like obtain or brings 90% in your 10th, then we will go to that trip. So it was my dream to have that, and we had a very special trip. So yeah, I would like to revisit that moment and have a trip once again with my family.
Great. Thank you. Who would want to volunteer next? Yes, please. What's your name? Kush. Kush, if you could have the lifetime supply of any one item, excluding money, what would that be?
Hello, everyone. Thanks. Hello. Good evening. Okay, tough question. Because we excluded money, but I think I am not going into the things which can just generate money because, let's say I say lifetime supply of gold, that's just a money. That's like loitering around the rules. But let's go and think more creatively than that, shall we? And so there are like basics that you can never skimp on. That's like water, clean water to be much more specific, right? Because that's just the thing. It's not just going to help me, but things in like Africa and other countries where it's like in such a short supply, and if I have like infinite of it, and I'm assuming that's what it is, it's an infinite supply, then it's going to help like a lot of people out there, right? So that's like one of the things that I am thinking along the terms. So yeah, means if I have to put it like on the spot, so excluding things which just directly have a monetary value or things which can lead to more violence or more arms or anything, I would say like clean water. And again, I'm not taking the abstract things like wishes or courage or other stuff, which is again like I think just like a tactful way of getting out of this answer. So yeah, I would say clean water, which I can then feed to the entire world.
Thank you. You're really nice, Kush. I would have said chicken biryani. Yes, who else? What's your name? Priyansh. Priyansh, if you could live in any fictional universe, movies or books, which one would it be?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Priyansh. This is my second meeting as a guest. And a fictional universe which I would love to live in would be Marvel Universe, where I would love to be play a role of Iron Man, where he just starts building his own life in a different way, from studying hard to build that heart which he has, and then have all the power which no one has in the universe. And that's fictional, which I would love to live like. And
Yes. Who else wants to come on stage? Yes. What's your name?
Kamini.
Kamini. Kamini, which is the most memorable book you have read and how did it impact you?
So the most memorable book that I have not read completely, I've just started reading it, but I think that will be the most memorable book for me because of the title it is based on, and the thing which I'm trying to find since a long time. So the title of the book is Man's Search for Meaning. So it's a book based on person who is in the concentration camp during the Nazi rule, and he is trying to search meaning of his life throughout the whole book. So the book is divided into two parts. The first part contains the whole story, how he survived. So this person is basically the professor, and he explains about his journey, how he survived the whole concentration camp from the starting till the end, what was the whole procedure like, how he was stripped of his whole identity as a professor, as a person, whatever titles he acquired throughout his life, how he was stripped of all those titles, and he was just given a standard number which every person in a concentration camp gets. So the first part revolves around the whole journey of that person, and then the second part kind of helps the readers to find out their own purposes in life, their own meanings from life. And I think this will be my most memorable book, because it might answer all the questions which I am trying to figure out since a long time. And I think I suggest everyone to give this book a read. I think it might be helpful for you also. Thank you.
Yes, we are on to the last topic. Who would want to volunteer? Please. What's in? Tripti. Since tomorrow is Rakhi, the topic is describe a cultural tradition that you find fascinating and why.
Okay. I'm not going to talk about Rakhi. It's tomorrow. My brother is here. I'm going to squeeze a lot of money from him. But there's one cultural tradition which peculiarly, that is peculiarly striking out to me right now is, have anyone here heard about Nag Panchami? Okay, Nag Panchami. So it's a festival that we celebrate mostly in the northern part of India. So as kids, we'll wake up and our grandma would be sitting on a table, and she'll have a paper and she'll be drawing snakes. Now as kids, we would just go and we'll be like, why are you drawing snakes? She'd go stick it on the walls. So I'd be like, okay, where is it going? It is also called as Gudiya. So Gudiya, it's a process where you take out old clothes in your home and create little dolls, which then is beaten by the boy in the family. Now, I have always been very troubled about why I was not allowed to do that. So we'd spend a lot of time creating those dolls in different colors, and we'd go on the signal of our neighborhood, and there'll be a stick, we'll beat that. And I was one of those girls who would always want to beat that myself. Forget about being a girl or boy, I want to beat that Gudiya. Yeah, this is one tradition that struck out to me. I don't know what is the logic. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to comment on that, but this is something that strikes me right now.
Great, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. That's it from this segment. I would like to call the general evaluator, Charvi, onto the stage, please.
Hello all. I'm back with the general evaluation segment for this meeting. In the very beginning, we're going to have evaluators present their evaluations on the speeches that you had seen. So to call upon the first speech evaluator, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Sagar Srivastav to evaluate Toastmaster Ruchi on her icebreaker speech titled The Untold Story.
Good evening once again. So today, Toastmaster Ruchi had a story to tell. Let's see if she was able to convey her story to the audience of Bright Hearts. Ruchi, your speech had a good structure. You had an opening, body, conclusion, which is as followed. Opening, your story started with first thing you mentioning. The title of my story is I Have a Story to Tell. By starting this way, you created a curiosity and everyone was able to concentrate what is further about to come from your end. Coming to body, we came to know about Ruchi, whose childhood sometimes took a shape of a coat or a shoe, who grew up in Delhi with the grandparents, and in college days, because of the untold stories, made her a shy person. Whereas through working out and doing meditation, she was able to help herself to come out. Now coming to conclusion, you clearly told you want to develop confidence, leadership skill, and empower those who want to convey their stories. Now coming to the highlights. The first highlight was you had a constant smile. Giving your icebreaker and having a constant smile is like, one of the toughest things to do, and I'm really proud that you were able to achieve that. Second, such a tough story about telling that you are being shy. It's like addressing the elephant in the room. Most of us who are here in Toastmasters, we all were the shy persons, and that is why we want to work on our public skill journey, and you addressed that in your first speech is really commendable. Then singing the song Akla Chalo Re, I mean, first icebreaker and a person is singing song, I was really amazed with that. And when you mentioned the coat of inner conflict and the shoes of anxiety. Coming to what could have been better. So first, I would suggest you to slow down a bit, because sometimes I was not able to follow you through because of, again, we had a noise from outside and there were many things. So you can be easy on your transition. And icebreaker is a speech where we would like to know more about yourself, about your childhood, what were some of the greatest achievements, so that everyone knows who the Ruchi is. In total, overall, you were clear, your content was easily understood, you appear comfortable, you had a constant smile, you were able to generate interest when you sang song. The only challenge to you is, I would like you to add more stories from the book Toastmaster Ruchi. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sagar, for your evaluation for this speech. To add to Toastmaster Sagar's feedback, in icebreaker speeches, we follow a recommendation of key points only. To add to this evaluation, what I would like to say is, from the point of view of the content writing, I felt the clarity that Sagar was mentioning about, saying we could be more clear with respect to the way the story was told. I felt the content had also a lot of elements going on in it. So it felt a little bit difficult to follow because of that reason. And if we were to use lesser story elements and include and stress upon the ones that are being told, then I feel that a better articulation and a better delivery would happen for this speech. So that's my recommendation of the speech for Toastmaster Ruchi. Adding into the feedback for Toastmaster Sagar, I felt the highlights were covered really well. It was a very encouraging feedback given for an icebreaker speech, so that was very well done again. I also felt, however, that the point about voice coming in from outside wasn't really lending into the part where we said that it wasn't clear to follow the story. I felt it was more from the point of view of the transitions or the pauses, or the content that was, a lot of content that was being spoken about. So I felt if the improvements were targeted towards that and not the outside environment elements, it would be a better speech. So that's my recommendation on the evaluation done. To call, for the next speech evaluation, I would like to call Toastmaster Rahul, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Harsh for his speech.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to my target speaker, Harsh. Today, you talked about your journey and the struggles with leadership, which brings me to your highlight number 1, which is you had a really good structure. First of all, you start with setting up the context and the problem. The context being, oh, I was a mischievous boy and I was the one leading it. So already in my head, I know, okay, Harsh is a leader in mischiefs, but also a leader. And a good problem statement as well. You say, oh, I was going to aim for head boy, but then I did not. First problem statement, okay, will he become a leader later on? So that question keeps coming back throughout the structure of the body. So with the context and problem, you have the opening down. With the various struggles, you had the body down. And then you had a great conclusion as well. When you brought it back by saying, I'm here to learn more about the leadership. So now the conclusion to the problem, which is the leadership problem, is now getting to a resolve, okay, I'm here to learn about it. And you add a nice touch with saying, this is the third step for my leadership journey. First being your head boy, second being your football captain. So a nice touch with the conclusion. So overall, you had a good structure. Second, I felt you were very comfortable on stage. Case in point because of 2 reasons. First, you took a lot of good pauses. For example, after all, I was a good mischievous leader. Or when you said, we were all there for partying, but you can guess who was not there. So good pauses like that. And also the slow paces when you said, can you guess who it was? So those are all nice slow pacing, and those good pauses made me feel like you were very comfortable on stage, which is easier for me to make it easier for you to listen and focus on the story. Finally, you had good vocal variety, in specifically with the tone. So when you talked about the dinner story, you said everyone was on the stair, everyone was at the dinner, but you can guess who was not there. That good low tone, as well as you had high tone as well when it was necessary. For example, I'm here to learn more about my leadership journey. So that high tone, that low tone, had good vocal variety, which made me hooked onto a speech constantly. Coming on to, I think you have 2 things you can work on. First is, I think you could have been a bit louder because of the already open environment, and I think you had good points in the story which could have been louder. For example, I was always a mischievous and born leader. So that moment could have been louder to make it more impactful. Second, I saw that you had a lot of unconscious stage movement. You were moving from left and right all throughout the speech, which felt like it was unnecessary, and it was also distracting for me to keep tracking you from left to right. So if you could work on these 2, being loud and unconscious stage movement, coupled with you already being comfortable on stage, having a good understanding of the structure of a speech and vocal variety, I am sure you will go on to become a great speaker and a great leader. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul, for that evaluation for Toastmaster Harsh's speech. To add to that, I feel that so in terms of, let me evaluate the speech first. I feel there were lots of highlights that I would want to point out, saying in the very beginning you had a hook with the audience where you spoke about you were mischievous, and instantly we were curious as to know what the story was going to be about. So I want to give you kudos for getting that hook in at the very early stage of your speech, and lots of good transitions and content writing also came through. The feedback though is on working on the pauses. I feel the pauses could have been better from the transitions that you were taking in your story, where the pauses could be more emotional in terms of the way they've been specified. For example, when you said that I was devastated and realized that being a leader, I had none of those things. So in that sense, if you bring in a lot more emotional quality in pauses there, in a sense of I was devastated and realized that being a leader, I had done none of those things. So there I felt that more emotional stress could come in and the audience would be further engaged with your speech. Having said that, great job on your first speech as an icebreaker. To add into the feedback for Toastmaster Rahul in this, I felt the vocal variety feedback which was given could have been better, although it was actually quite good for a first speech, but it could have been better. So the highlight there, I find that more feedback could have also come in at that point. And also the feedback on the loudness, I felt the emotional stresses were more important than the loudness of the feedback. Having said that, all the points were on point in terms of the way they were spoken, so I kind of agree to most of the points. I just wanted to add into those feedback. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rahul, for that evaluation. Now, on to the entire general evaluation for the meeting. Well, before we begin, I'd like to also call the tag team to present their evaluations for this meeting, starting with the timer, Toastmaster Pragati.
Congratulations to all the brave speakers today. Like your delivery and everything was so amazing today. So really a big round of applause to everyone. And also a big round of applause for trying to maintain the speech time limit as well. So go Bright Hearts. Go Bright Hearts. Okay. So having said that, so we have a little more detailed report that I have. I'll just go through one by one the roles and the person taken over that role. So starting with SAA Rahul, you've taken 4 minutes. President Akshay, 6 minutes 20 seconds. TMOD Siddharth, 4.3. General Evaluator Charvi, 7.49. Speaker 1, Ruchi, the icebreaker speaker, you've taken 5.56 minutes. Speaker 2, Harsh, 5.29. Evaluator 1, Sagar, 3.16. Evaluator 2, Rahul, 3 minutes. Moving on to the Toastmaster. This is Toastmaster Speaker 1, Arundhati, 2.3. Table topic speaker 2, Sujivana. Okay, yeah, 53 seconds. Sorry, sir, I didn't get your name. Madhu. Okay. You took close to 1 minute. Kush, 1.4. Priyansh, 50 seconds. Darani, 1.52, and Tripti 2. So, which is good timings, but here and there, little bit of a few seconds extra, a few seconds less, but that's okay. So there's always room for improvement. Thank you.
Next upon, I want to call upon Toastmaster Deepak for presenting his R counter report. Let me help you with that. Should I help you with that?
No, that's fine. Good evening, everyone. I had a very less job to do today. I did not get my couple of columns filled up throughout everyone. So crutch words, I could not get anything. Repetitive words, I could not get anything. Maybe I might have missed, but congratulations. The only thing that I got most of the time is R. And inappropriate pause is 2 people. I'll go through the names now. So, Sergeant of the Day, Raful Ajam, inappropriate pause for 1. Akshay, of course, nothing for him. Siddharth Jain, multiple, a lot of Chani, general evaluator, some are. Speaker 1, nothing to comment on. Speaker 2, hers, some are. Evaluator 1, Sagar, some are. Evaluator 2, Rahul, some are. Toastmaster Ishan, I could not get anything. Test TT speaker 1, Arundhati, nothing to, there was no problem. Test Toastmaster speaker 2, Sujivana, there was nothing to catch. Madhur, Toastmaster, sorry, TT speaker 3, lot of R's. TT speaker 4. Yeah, in this case, there were some catch words and some R's. Kush. Testmaster 6, Priyan's, very less, just one R and just one inappropriate pause. There's TT speaker 7, Kaving, not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, multiple R's. And then TT speaker 8, Prita, I'm sorry if I'm not getting the name. Were there. That is all I have to present. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak, for your report. Now I'd like to call Toastmaster Sitaraman for his report, the grammarian report.
So as Bilbo Baggins, that's what our general evaluator had referred me as. Bilbo Baggins actually has two characters that define what Bilbo Baggins is. One is very adventurous, the Bilbo side. Baggins, sort of naive. If you have seen the movie, he's a slow starter. So I'm just going to distribute my evaluation of being a grammarian here. First being Bilbo, which is the adventurous, the best usage of words that we have today. I was completely flattened. If you've all heard about from the old school days of your English teacher talking about figures of speech, how many of you know figures of speech, simile, alliteration? Yeah, few hands. Today I found many of the speakers had literally gone ahead and vividly, to all our liking, had used multiple figures of speech. Wonderful world, which is related to the alliteration. If you're looking at alliteration, alliteration is all about a non-vowel, which is a consonant letter repeating itself. So wonderful world to me resembled an alliteration figure of speech. Speaker 1, specifically I would like to point out, excellent figure of speech usages. Presence, prominence, beat the burden is what I have noted down. Metaphors was also used. Shoes of anxiety. Metaphor is completely two different objects coming together, but together they make a meaning, which is what shoes of anxiety. Social bright hearts. Loved that expression. Excellent speaker 1 on that. Walked alone till the steps felt lighter. That's another metaphoric usage. There were other good usages from the speaker 2, Harsh as well. Hard truth. I was trying to desperately plant it to a figure of speech here. I don't know if we could call it an oxymoron, because truth can be hard. Yes, it is hard, so it's not an oxymoron, but hard truth was a good usage. Uncover strengths was another good usage. And as always, our president of the club and our VP membership had their own excellent usage of words. I was so engrossed in their ways of expressing it, and I lost count in noting it down. Simply put, brighten hearts are the two things that I have actually used. Now looking at the Baggins side, which is the place where we actually need to make an improvement. We all have accents. I think as Indians, as not just Indians, anywhere else, we all have accents. There's nothing wrong about it, but I think it's always important to be conscious of those accents and improve upon it. For example, exiting is something, it's like because of the accent, you're saying exiting to exiting. So you might, whoever had used it, no names, but we should start looking at and be more conscious about it. I found a usage by one of our guests here, via the Toastmaster. It's nice to use via, but via typically, according to my grammar books, is used for places. It could be through a specific person, through another person. This would have been better. It's an observation. Windows to the worlds. I was waiting for what next? Windows to the worlds of wisdom, windows to the worlds of what? It could have been another category of alliteration. So that completeness was something that probably got missed out. Now, we all make this mistake. I often do that. There is articles A and the. The is typically referred to as the definitive pronoun. Definitive article, not the pronoun, definitive article. We use the word the only when you have already introduced that specific concept. And only then say, I had been to a specific college or a university, that college or the college had. So there is some previous reference to it. I think that's something which probably I had found it to be missed out. As I entered, my college would have been better than without any introduction, the college. Dreams was shattered. Dreams being plural, dreams were shattered would have been an apt usage. Jumping ahead today, jumping ahead to the present day would have been much more appropriate. The Baggins is bad, so a few minutes and I'll done. There have been a phenomenal usage of the word so. Whenever we attempt to start a sentence, so I'm here talking about so, it's probably something we should consciously look at and change it. You can always start a sentence with so, and I'm not saying you should not, but then every other sentence beginning with so could be avoided. I had struggled to figure this was a wrong usage or the right usage. The last one, everyone was, or should it be everyone were? The person who had used everyone was is actually correct. Everyone is generally looked at as a singular expression. So everyone was is the correct usage. Last 30 seconds, it's good to use non-English words in our expression, in our speech. Aclochalore was a great expression, Gudia. Somebody had used it, but always good for some of the audience to kind of translate it to English. To an extent you had attempted it, but it'll be nice to, if the speech permits, to look at and translate it. That's pretty much it from the Bilbo Baggins or the Grammarian for the day. Thank you so much.
We also have an additional role taker today, which is the role of the listener. I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Arundhati for playing the role of the listener.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Okay, most of the people here know what the listener does because we have this every week. So one of the skill sets that Toastmaster also helps.
Mike.
Okay, sorry. I wasn't listening about the mic, was I? Okay. Okay, so one of the skill sets that Toastmaster helps you inculcate is listening ability, to pay attention and listen. So I'm going to assume that all of you have listened to the vivid stories that unfolded on this stage. Very good, you're still listening. What I do is I'll ask you a few questions. You can raise your hand if you shout out the answer. That doesn't help. So please raise your hand. If you answer it correct, you get one smiley. Let's go. Okay, first question. When was Toastmasters International founded? I give it to Harsh. He was first. 1924. Woo! Okay. Okay, next up. What is Siddharth's profession? You can't. It was in your speech. Yes, Kamini? Yes, he is Siddharth. No. Okay, Raful?
Data science manager.
Yeah, of course. Raful knows this right. Go for it. Ready? Oh, something's happening. Right. Okay, next question. What did Siddharth compare the table topic section with? Wow, somebody missed it. Never mind. With no hands in the room, you can't, Siddharth. Yes, Kamini? Improv is the name, but he compared that with one element of books. Okay, never. Yes.
Starting index.
No. Okay, the right answer is plot twists. That's what Siddharth compared it with. It's okay, I'll give you another question. What would be Harsh's autobiography name? Yes. Oh, doing? He's like, even I don't know. Well done. Okay, next. The next question I have is, yeah, it's very easy. Ruchi's family can't answer. Anybody else can. Which place was Ruchi born in? Sagar. Yes.
Delhi.
Here you go, Sagar. Oh, you. Okay, sorry, Sagar. Please help yourself. Next, okay, next question. Which position did Harsh nominate himself for in school? Siddharth was first. Head boy. Yes, correct. Okay. Then Sujivna. So whom would Sujivna have dinner with? Ruchi. Ruchi first.
Akshay and Arundhati.
Yay. Okay, let's go. Okay, from Madhur's speech, which memory would he choose? Madhur spoke. Yes, Carmen. Oh, she's finally got that right. I've got to give her. Oh, yeah. Okay, we got last two. There you go. Which universe would Priyansh like to live in? Tripti can't answer. Ishan. Okay, last question. What would Kush like to have unlimited supply of? Pragati. Oh, I have one more. Okay, I'll do one more. Which cultural festival did Tripti speak about? Oh my God, everybody's... Deepak. Oh no. Oh yes, okay, here you go. All right, that's fine. And thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
How much time do I get? Give me some time. 9 minutes. Okay. Thank you for being gracious with the time, presiding officer. To begin my report, I would like to first acknowledge Rahul, who played the role of SAA. The things that Rahul did really well was cover all the points that were required to introduce the meeting. Also, you had a very good start with a nice baritone voice, which kind of like set the nice tone for the meeting. So it was an engaging voice, I feel. Having said that, the introduction could be a little more powerful with the way it was addressed to the audience. And also, while introducing the presiding officer, there was slight lower energy. I think by the time it was at the fag end of your address, so I felt that the energy went down a little bit. So for the next role's introduction, there could be more energy that could be given so that the audience is excited about what's coming next. For presiding officer Akshay, flawless as ever. We had Akshay as the presiding officer of HSR as well, and he was flawless back then, he's flawless now as well. Having said that, what you did really well was call guests out. You introduced the guests, you had them speak about it. Also, I really like the fact that you connected the previous meeting, which was about, I think, the academia, and then coming back to the books part. So that connection made it an engaging flow into this meeting. So I think that was done really well. Having said that, I felt the address was a little shorter than most of your addresses that I've seen. So I felt that the engagement could have been more had you had a longer address. For the TMOD today, kudos to you on doing such a great job. Beautiful questions kept coming our way, and you were also engaged and also ever excited wanting to answer those questions. So great job done there. The highlights definitely were those engaging questions. You also had great introductions for everybody and great questions for everyone. So that kept the audience also engaged and the energy up for the next role taker. Having said that, I do have feedback for you, which is when you spoke about the theme, which is books, windows of the world, as a role taker and the very beginning of the meeting, I wish there would be a little more meat into the way you came about, come into this theme, or maybe you could have spoken about the history of the very first book that came about, why did books come into the world, and how are they windows to the world. So I felt that would have lent in a lot more meat to the whole theme and would have been a great introduction setting into the theme as well. I'd also like to challenge you to address the audience with more energy so that throughout your role, there's more energy transfer into the audience and they continue to be engaged with the meeting in general. So that's something that I would want to challenge you with. To the general evaluator's role, I felt there was a slight amount of nervousness as a feedback to the general evaluator. And I also felt that at the end of the address, the general evaluator was to mention that she would be coming at the end of the meeting to address all of you with her evaluation report. I think that was not done. That's a feedback. And also, in terms of the way the theme was introduced, there could be more relatability with the audience for people who had not seen Lord of the Rings. So I think that's a feedback for the general evaluator. That's me. Now, coming to the tag team, role takers, the feedback that I have for Toastmaster Pragati, who was the timer today, You introduced the role really well. You covered all the points for your role, and you spoke about what your report was going to have at the very beginning of the meeting. Also, when you came back with your feedback report, I really like the way that you engaged the audience saying, go Bright Hearts. So once again, go Bright Hearts. But there's feedback that I have for you, which is the introduction segments for the general evaluator as well as the tag team role takers are not supposed to be individually timed. They must be collectively timed, and feedback must be given to any role taker who may have exceeded time more than they should have, like in the sense of how much content they spoke about. So I think that is something that you could take feedback on when presenting your overall report. The segment timings that you spoke about were saying, okay, the table topic speaker took 1 minute 40 seconds or something. At that point, I felt that the segment timings could be reintroduced to the audience so that they know what they're comparing it against, especially because it's a new club, and then reinforcing the timings would be helpful. I also felt that the way in which the timings were introduced, which is 1.4, kind of is a misleading figure because it's 1 minute 40 seconds and it's not very easily understood. So having said 1 minute 40 seconds is a better way to address the timing versus 1.4. To Toastmaster Deepak, who played the role of the R counter, I think it was a very detailed report. You went about highlighting everybody's crutch usages. The feedback that I have for you is to try to be more louder so that you can have the points that you're covering reach the audience also. And then in terms of the table topic speakers reports, I felt that you should have included the names of the reporters, the speakers, so that they would know their timing instead of using the number, which would have been very hard for them to follow. To Toastmaster Sitaraman, kudos to you in doing such a great job in correlating the theme that was presented in the very beginning and kind of tying it back to your role at the end when you were presenting your report. So a great job done there. And more importantly, you had a very vivid and colorful report that was presented to everybody with regards to the good and the bad usages of grammar. The feedback that I had was in terms of also, like, I think it's a positive and a negative point both, in the sense of, like, for some of the speakers, you said they've done a great job, they've done a fabulous job, but you couldn't detail it out because you lost track of what they were saying. But nevertheless, you owned it up very beautifully. So I think I want to give you kudos for that as well. And the feedback that I want specifically is the recommendation section of your bad usages. I felt if you could curtail that recommendation a bit, you would have been able to cover your role within time. So I felt that's how probably you would have made up for the time that you exceeded. So I did cover the speaker and the evaluator roles earlier, so I'm not going to go about them in detail. Having said that, I think I did not do justice to the highlights I wanted to cover for Toastmaster Ruchi's speech. So I just wanted to say, I also loved the usage of social bright hearts. It's a great usage. And I felt that your speech was full of those kind of usages through and through. So I want to give you kudos for your first speech and having such good usage of language through. You also had great body language, I felt, from start to finish. You started the speech from here, and then you went about your path. You came back to the same space, and you said this is again the path and the journey that you've chosen with Toastmasters. So I felt that was a great usage of body language for your first speech especially. So I just want to highlight that before I move on to the next evaluations. Next up, the evaluation for table topics, the TTM role today, played by Toastmaster Ishan. The highlights were obviously the theme introduction was really well, and it was covered in the listener's roles question as well. Great articulation, saying taking the leap of faith, and those kind of pointers that were covered in the way you were articulating and taking the audience through your role. The feedback that I had was you forgot introducing the names of the table topic speakers. That made it hard for the role takers to keep a note of these speaker names. It would be good to repeat the topic because then again, the role takers can make a note of that. And I felt the titles could be shorter just so that registering the titles would have been easier. For example, I think there was I will cover that at the end. I have the titles written. So then what could be shortened is something that we could be working on. Very quickly, I have one liner for each of the table topic speakers in terms of what feedback I have for them. The first table topic speaker was Toastmaster Arundhati with her speech title of your autobiography. And I felt such a great title, saying just to be happy, great articulation there. And opinion and conclusion was well stated, but just to nitpick, please try to finish in time. And also, you tied the conclusion of your speech at the very end to the book title again. So I felt if you would have done that earlier, you would have been able to better manage your time as well. Having said that, I know it's the end of my time. So for the table topic speakers, I have evaluations for all of them. Please meet me after this meeting and we can go through that if you would want to have your evaluation done for you. And I would want to end this meeting with my role, with saying the world is not your books and maps, it's out there, is what Sir Gandalf the Grey had to say. But as Charlie, who's playing the role, I would like to rephrase, the world can be simulated to a large extent by books, maps, and Toastmasters. Thank you so much. I would like to hand it back to the presiding officer of the meeting today.
May I request everyone to please give another round of applause for Toastmaster Chavi. All right, with that, requesting everyone to please take out your phones and let's indulge ourselves in the final voting form for pre-charter meeting 7. Open up Google Chrome and type in bit.ly/BHTMVOTE2. It's the exact same URL as the first time, just the 1 is replaced to be a 2. BHTMVOTE2. Please vote for the best auxiliary role taker, the best primary role taker, the best table topic speaker, and the best speech evaluator. For table topic speakers whose names may have been misspelled, I apologize, but please let me know how I can correct that. We'll give everyone 50 seconds to fill up this form. Let's get 17 responses really quickly. VP, do we have 15 responses yet? How many do we have? 8. Could we get another 7 or more responses? How many votes do we have? 17? Excellent. Okay, we have about 6 minutes before we wrap up this meeting. Did everyone have a good time? Yes. I would like to get a few thoughts from some of the people in attendance. I'll just pass the mic to you. You can stand up from your place and tell us what you thought about the meeting. So, Jeevana, would you like to go first? From your seat, you can tell us how was your experience today?
I love the energy. It's amazing that it's such a beautiful place. I love the energy. I like the support. And I'm really thrilled that speakers are so good already. It's just started. Yeah, I'm very glad to join this team. I will be joined.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I would like to pass the mic to one more guest. Kamini, would you like to share a few words too?
So I liked all the speeches, prepared speeches or the table topic speeches, everything, even the evaluation. So the most important thing I liked of this session was the structure. So all the speeches were given on time, the evaluations were done on time. And yeah, I got to learn a lot from everyone's way of speaking and looking forward to learn more. Thank you.
Awesome. We do have the time for it. So young sir, would you like to give a few thoughts in your mind?
Yeah, sure. So amazing evening, enjoying the weather, and Toastmaster meeting under rooftop is an amazing feeling. And lots of good usages and lots of new grammar that we learn today, and best usages always help us to improve ourselves in communication in daily routine also. So yeah, we had a great meeting, and thank you for the amazing table topics and the theme of the day, that is our books. Yeah, great evening. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. One of the key pieces of feedback I'm hearing from everyone is that the quality that the Bright Hearts are bringing on the stage is definitely much more than expected, right? We never realized and never could have dreamt in our wildest imaginations that every Bright Heart, specifically the prepared speakers, week in, week out, are coming here giving such vivid speeches that really paint beautiful pictures in all of our minds. So before I distribute these awards, a huge round of applause for all of the role takers of Bright Hearts Toastmasters who put in the work week in and week out. Let's go into the winners of Pre-Charter Meeting 7 of Bright Hearts Toastmasters. I would like to inform across all the categories, there were no disqualifications. Same for the auxiliary role taker category, there was one disqualification. So definitely going forward, time is of the essence, Bright Hearts. Make sure we keep that in mind. And another thing, handshake protocol, we'll slowly figure it out. We tend to forget it every now and then, but something we can all work on. The best auxiliary role taker for Pre-Charter Meeting 7 is Bright Heart Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster, Arundhati Basu. And while we have you here, Arundhati, it turns out that the best table topic speaker for Pre-Charter Meeting 7 is Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster, Bright Heart, Arundhati Basu. Arundhati, up and coming talent in Bright Hearts. Truly was mesmerized by, have you done this before? Are you new to the fraternity? But nonetheless, and I think it's very important that when Arundhati takes a role, I think it's on the onus of every Bright Heart here to elevate your performance, right? Because you got to take down the behemoths. And Arundhati, as much as you want to give that shy smile of yours, the truth of the matter is Arundhati is a phenomenal speaker. Yes. Hence, it is very important we take examples like this, remember it. And the next time any Bright Heart comes to the stage, the one thing you should tell yourself is, we are gonna defeat DTM, Bright Heart, Toastmaster, Arundhati Basu. But that's for another day. For today, congratulations. Coming next to the best evaluator for pre-charter meeting 7, the winner is someone from HSR Toastmasters. And that person is Toastmaster Rahul Niranjan. Rahul, I think, dare I say, it was one of the best evaluations I've seen from you today. Wonderfully structured, beautiful highlights, very succinct, concise areas of improvement, and most importantly, a very good conclusion. Everything about your evaluation today is something that every Bright Heart should take and remember as something you guys want to do when you take up an evaluation in the next time. But once again, today, it's your day. Congratulations. Coming next to the best role player for meeting number pre-charter meeting 7, and the winner is Toastmaster Charvi Dood. Chavi, wonderful job. Once again, great general evaluation report. You brought in the experience of HSR Toastmasters, the experience of what has been a year in Toastmasters for you, and you really put it in the forefront today. With your great evaluations for every single role taker, I really don't think there's anything more I can add except kudos. Very well done. And now, the winner of the Best Speaker Award for Pre-Charter Meeting 7 of Bright Hearts Toastmasters is Bright Heart Ruchi Jain. Ruchi? In your speech today, you told us that it's a journey. Life is a journey. There are 10,000 steps. You're taking the first step. And there are many more steps to come. Today, we witnessed your first step in Bright Hearts Toastmasters in the prepared speech space. And I don't know what's in store for you. But if today was any indication, I am so excited to see the stories that you bring in your upcoming roles. But most importantly, whatever happens, no matter what, the Bright Hearts will be there behind you to support you every single one of those 10,000 steps. Well deserved. Congratulations. May I request everyone hiding behind the chair to please come front now for a picture. And I would ask Pragati to please take a picture of all the winners. Okay, lovely. Everyone come close. Show both your certificates. 2, you have to show 2. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations once again. With that, we end today's meeting. It's next Sunday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Same time, same place, Urban Vault 1515. Bright Hearts Toastmasters Pre-Charter Meeting 8 coming up next Sunday. Until then, I declare this meeting closed. May I request everyone in attendance to please hold on for